Once upon a time, there was a small town that was known for its eerie graveyard. The cemetery was located at the edge of the town, surrounded by tall trees that blocked out the sunlight. It was a place where the dead rested in peace, or so the town people believed. However, there were rumors that the cemetery was cursed. People said that anyone who ventured there would be met with terrible consequences. Stories were told about how the graves would open up at night, and the dead would rise from their resting places, seeking revenge on those who disturbed their peace. One day, a group of teenagers decided to put the rumors to the test. They were determined to explore the graveyard and see if the stories were true. They gathered at the entrance of the cemetery, and as they entered, a cold breeze passed through them, sending chills down their spines. As they walked deeper into the cemetery, they came across an old tombstone that was covered in moss and vines. It read, "Here lies the body of Mary Johnson, died at the age of 16. The group continued walking, and soon they found themselves surrounded by graves that seemed to appear out of nowhere. Suddenly, the ground beneath them began to shake, and they heard a faint whisper saying, "Get out of here." The group panicked and tried to run, but they found themselves trapped. The graves were opening up, and the undead were emerging from them. The group tried to fight back, but their efforts were in vain. They were being overpowered by the undead, and one by one, they fell to the ground. The only one left was a girl named Sarah. She tried to run, but she was caught by one of the undead. The undead stared into her eyes, and Sarah could feel its icy breath on her face. She was terrified, but she knew she had to fight back. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small crucifix. She held it up, and the undead recoiled. Sarah realized that the crucifix had the power to repel the undead. She held it up high and started to recite a prayer. The undead began to retreat, and Sarah took this opportunity to run. She ran out of the cemetery and never looked back. From that day on, she knew that the stories about the cursed cemetery were true. She warned others never to venture there, for they might not be as lucky as she was. The town people heard about what happened to the teenagers, and they decided to take action. They hired a priest to bless the cemetery, hoping to put the undead to rest once and for all. The priest performed a ceremony, and the undead were never seen again. Years went by, and the cemetery became a peaceful place where the dead rested undisturbed. However, the memory of what happened to the teenagers remained, and it was a reminder to never underestimate the power of the dead.